Greetings, adventurers. I am thy dungeon master, and welcome again to Pathfinder Banter. Today we're doing the interviews. I'm bringing my party here in the studio, and we are going to we're going to grill them, learn a little bit of things about them. And today we're in for a treat, for we got our intrepid and amazing paladin here in the studio. Thank you, Chyra and Chad. Welcome.
Thank you, TDM.
Right.
Also sporting the latest in Pathfinder wear, we have the Magic Missile T-shirt, available for $22.99.
There will be T-shirts.
There will be T-shirts.
So if you want to wear Drew's face on your chest,
like every lady should.
Like every lady should.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Chyra.
Chrya is the resident moral compass of the group. Whenever there comes like a gray situation, you know, he's been in so many that he can start to look at things a little more black and white than others, and just help them follow the right path. You know, it's pretty cool playing as Chrya, because you know he's in this transformation right now where he's struggling with his heritage and his future, where he's actually converting into an angel. You know, kind of a fun thing that he's becoming a wholly different race.
Kind of denying his
a
human
wholly
side.
different race. And but it's very fun to play as a paladin, because you know you're having to act within your deity's limits, kind of thing, as well as play the person who's always good when there are some situations where you don't want to be the good guy.
And I'm probably one of the most generous with you in terms of giving you special abilities and giving you interesting things that you could do at the table. I like powerful characters because I deem it as you're heroes. You're kind of a cut above. I like my characters to be powerful. I like my characters to be heroic. Usually that means that I can throw bigger stuff at them, or I can throw more interesting stuff at them. And it's not just they get felled by something mundane. I feel like they should have a larger thing or a larger insurmountable problem that they can circumvent.
A hero's death.
A hero's death. What level are you?
Currently level 10.
What is your class?
I am a paladin.
All right. And what is your favorite ability as a paladin?
My favorite ability has to be channel positive energy.
Why is that?
It just seems like a really epic moment where he's channeling all of that is good under Surrender Ray's name. It's a moment where he puts his fist in the air. You just see this bolt of light come down, hit him, and disperse among the crowd. And it heals everybody. You know, I kind of figure it as like a warm sensation, as like little light particles fly everywhere. Everyone feels the warmth in the middle of battle, and I'm able to just bring to life those around me that are helping defend my name.
There you go. What is your favorite moment in the game so far?
Favorite moment of the game? There are so many, but I think my favorite is actually the most comedic, and that's when we came up across the rust monster. And nobody knew what to do, and we asked our resident bard what it was, and he's just like, it's a rust monster. Don't get anywhere near it. I remember some of this from like his studies back in Taldor, but he just disappears, and for a moment everybody thinks that he's just chickening out, but he comes back pretty much stark naked except for his Taldorian,
He is the one decked out in plate.
Yeah, he comes back in a Taldorian diphthong, basically, and comes running in and just hugs it and says, "Hide!" as he's just taking it out, and he's able to shout orders as he's getting beat on by this giant thing, and he yells for the wizard to come out naked. Drop the robe and run over here, and probably gonna be one of the most comedic moments ever, but also I think one of his most take charge of the situation.
It was certainly an interesting way that the guy who brings the holy pain subdues a monster by basically just delaying it. So and doing virtually no damage to it at all. So really interesting way to solve a problem. That's what I mean by circumventing an encounter.
Well, it's either that or the hero point hug to Nero.
That was a really
that was a way to
moment.
circumvent a situation.
That was definitely a really heroic moment too. How does your character feel about the other members of the party?
in the beginning, he looked at them as just really inexperienced and baggage because he came from a background of just war and in general just having people who he would command, they would listen and they would be able to achieve what he told them to. He'd be like, go send this encampment over there and take over those guys. Now I need you guys to just be ahead all the orcs in this sector and you guys get the hostages out kind of thing, and they can carry it out.
He's the scion of a noble house.
Yeah, but like the group, we're used to being in a party, in a group, in an army kind of thing, and over time he slowly got to realize that you can't just boss him around. And he started trying to work on personal relationships with all of them, and he's starting to realize that if you don't shout like an army and you talk to each one of them as individuals, they can handle it. If I ask Malachar to drop his robe and come after me and help me take out something, he does it. You ask Caliph to sneak behind something and take a head off. I mean, she can do it as long as you know each of their abilities. The whole team. He's learning how to be an actual leader when it comes to a party, not an army.
It is profound, and that's kind of what I look for leaders. What's Chyra's favorite color?
Taldorian blue.
And why is that?
Well, I mean, it's where he grew up. It's the dawn flower. It's just the epitome of what he stood for his whole life. It was the color of the banners hanging in the chapel that he learned all of his abilities and learned to follow Serenity as his leader.
Okay. What is your least favorite moment in the game so far? And be proven.
It has to be just the believe it or not, the chaotic shift, because Chyra was in the game as a neutral good character, and during the Aboleth encounter, that seems to be the one that everybody just has like harsh moments, and like he saw things that he just didn't want to see. I mean, he saw, for one, like a lot of the characters don't know that Chyra's actually married. There's this whole big story, and he left her to keep her safe and to keep her where she needs to be, but he saw her dead on the table. Just dead, poked her. Nothing, no reaction, no nothing, just sit there. After we had been through so much to see her dead, that means that she had to go through so much more, and it hurt. Like, he should have just stayed behind, Instead he's been, hiding behind enemy lines for so long, and having that is just that moment where he just changed who he was, and it was one of the worst moments because I had to completely reconfigure who he was. He wasn't this big, brave soldier anymore. He was this hurt, scared guy behind a giant plate of armor, basically, that had to build himself back up again.
And he continues to do so now.
Continues to do so.
Who is your favorite NPC?
Oh, it's Carlotta. Easily Carlotta.
The spider?
The spiders had so much spunk to it. I mean, I know you always say it's, flattering for you to, like an NPC, but when you can freaking DM a spider and you fall in love with it, that's just another thing in general. He was throwing webs at, spider had attitude, didn't say a thing, had attitude. Chyra liked it. It was also one of the moments that he got over a fear. He got over the fear of arachnids that he had to begin with. He battling summon armies before, and it was terrible. And having someone who was essentially a friend battle side by side with him, he just fell in love with him. Thought Carlotta was awesome.
Who is Carlotta for the people at home?
Carlotta was a spider that actually, it was a slice spider?
A blade spider.
A blade spider that was sent with us on a journey from an oracle in a were-crocodile town. And she was sent with us on an adventure to a graveyard to try to get some relics. And she got ticked off. The hair life all the time kept webbing him in the face, and he couldn't get off his mouth and couldn't speak, which I thought was hysterical. But to have this big thing, fighting side by side with us, it was fun.
And Carlotta was intelligent. She did have kind of her own personality.
So she could understand Chyra's talking to her and everything.
And she also died. So
yeah,
like I seem to do a lot with.
Yeah, yeah. Still my favorite NPC, whether in death or life. So hopefully we'll see her come back sometime.
You might. For the last question. An alluring vampire delivers a flying missile dropkick from a dark castle, and you are knocked to the ground. What do you do?
Well, for one, I'd spirit peer to your face. Just put my hand right there, get her in the face, then get myself up, and then just brace for impact, basically. As long as the attention of the vampire is on me, my party members will go around and attack her. That's all I gotta do. I gotta draw their attention, keep them on me. If I can take a couple hits and scrapes, I know that the vampire is gonna take it.
All right. Thank you very much, Chad, and thank you very much, Chyra. Do you want to say goodbye to Chyra?
Yes. Please come and watch our live stream, and you can always see Mother Hen in action.
Fight well, and happy gaming.